Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jonathan, and welcome back to Money Talks. We talk about increase your income, increase your credit score, and really build your wealth. If you're interested in investing, please stick around on the channel. Today, we're going to talk about this whole idea of wealth, and this may actually become a series. So I want to talk about how do we walk through getting prepared to build that actual wealth. So one of the things I want you to actually do is number one, you have to change your mind. You have to change your mindset. How do you change your mindset? Well, a lot of things about building wealth can seem abnormal, I guess you could say for me, because it's just a different way of thinking, and any way that you're not used to seeing things seems weird and often unique. And this is how people think. This is how they make decisions. How is this right? Well, it's right because again, it led to them building wealth. And changing your mind, I found, starts with the glass half full approach. Really looking at the opportunity that you have, really looking at the situation for what it is. Have you ever gotten in a challenge and you're like, oh man, things didn't work out? When you got through, were you upset that things didn't work out, or were you more optimistic to the fact that, hey, now I've learned how to do this in this scenario? Now I know these things to look at. Have you sat back? Looking at the opportunity in everything is part of changing your mind. Glass half full. The other thing I will want you to really dive in and think about is some of the millionaire studies, but just people, millionaires 90% of the time believe that they control their own destiny. That if I want something to happen, I am the key factor in making that happen. As opposed to just the general Republic of the United States, it's about 60%. 60% of people believe that they can make things happen. It's a vast, stark difference. And the reason for it is, again, that optimism, that glass half full, that there's still opportunity, and I still believe this thing is going to work out. And the funny thing about it is that it tends to go that way. Opportunities tend to come out, and you can't really say or predict or where they come from. But if you're focused, you will learn, you will get around the people, and people will help you, and you will somehow make progress to where you're trying to go. May not always do it in the time frame that you want it. Number two, you also have to look at what is the value of things you're buying. So a lot of things you want to look at it and evaluate of, okay, how much am I going to have to pay this? Well, millionaires usually not only look at how the total cost of what it's going to cost them, whether you're buying a car, whatever it is, at the end of the day, they're looking at the total cost for their value, but then they're also looking at the time. One of the best examples I share personally is when I was younger, paying for a car repair used to sink me. And even now, it's still a trigger when I have to get a car repair. It's an irritating thing for me. How many of you have actually been there? If you've been like that, or something irritates you in your finances, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But the fact is, when you actually go through that, or for me, when I go through that car repair now, I'm more focused on, okay, I need my car to get and do certain things within my schedule that allow me to create and build these incomes and use that income to build wealth. So the car is very important. If I don't have the car, if it's down for a certain amount of time, and pardon me, my daughter, it's her birthday, so I appreciate you guys being with me. But if my car is down for a certain amount of time, what is that actually costing me? So it's important for me to get the car fixed. Now, I still do my due diligence with the people that I'm with. I've been with them long enough. They know I'm not going to overpay, and they also know I'm going to know about how much that repair should cost. So if their cost comes back, or something goes off in the customer service aspect, they're definitely going to have to pay for that. I'm not saying just be free willing, but I'm saying I'm not as going shop to shop, calling and taking all that time to search that stuff. I'm getting the car fixed because it's costing me more not being in an operable, safe condition to use than it would be for me to have it down for days and I couldn't accomplish the things I need to accomplish, get to the place I'm going. The ultimate thing is you want to look at the time expense behind things, because ultimately when you're thinking about building wealth, it's really about you're wanting to get your time back. You're wanting to stop doing whatever or slow down on some of the activity that you have, or you want to take the pressure off you needing to do that activity for you to really just simply enjoy it a little bit. The next thing I want you to think about is really understand what wealth is. So this is number 3, what wealth is. So rich, depending on where you stay at, is a certain level of salary, how much money you can go make. But wealth is what you actually have, because your salary can be 30 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand, but that doesn't mean you have $1 million worth of assets or $2 million or what have you. So it's important that you understand wealth is honestly a lifestyle. Rich can be a lifestyle, but it's more temporary. But wealth is the sustaining, concrete piece of the rich lifestyle. And sometimes I think how we go and grow through our finances is you might start off, if you're just like me, you didn't know what you were doing, you weren't saving, so you started figuring out, hey, I need to look at my money. And then after you start looking at your money, you was like, hey, I need to save my money, which is something me and my good personal friend, we started challenging ourselves to do. And then when I saw how things worked out with saving my money, I realized I need to start investing my money, because I'm like, it was hard to actually save. It is hard to actually save money. It takes so long to get to 5, 10,000, 20,000. But when you start investing, you see you have more working for you. And then over time, when you've been investing for a long time, you realize the investment, the work you put in is perpetual. It continually outpaces what you would want to do. And, or I'm sorry, your ability to save. And once you get to that piece, even if you pass it down to your kids, your nest egg, your assets are so large that even if they did well, they would have to do something extraordinary to keep up or outpace what this compound interest effect is doing. So I would encourage you to really look at this wealth. Look at it as a lifestyle. Everything's a lifestyle, but look at that wealth lifestyle and then really understand it. And one way you can understand it is by educating yourself on how the people that are successful, what are they doing? You first get into people with community that are trying to go down this lifestyle. But even those people, they might not be there, but they're ahead of you, so that's helpful. But the other thing you can do to really learn is to actually read books. One of the first books I encourage people to read is The Millionaire Next Door. And even though the stats you might think is outdated and it's not fitting for your time, I will tell you that book breaks down every single minute detail that can possibly come up in your life, and you see how these people made their decision, and it's backed with the data, facts, and figures of that time. But one thing you understand is wealth and what the wealthy look like isn't what we see on TV. They're very, very calm, they're very, very reserved, and they're very, very confident in who they are. And I would encourage you that these are things that you don't have to go out and make a lot of money to be. You can develop the characteristics and implement that in your life today. And that will sustain you as you're trying to build and do the tactical investing, go into real estate, have a business, whatever the case may be, as you're building out your career to have these assets on the long term. There are stages to building wealth. You don't just wake up and say, hey, I'm wealthy now. No, it takes you through a life transformation, and that's the piece that you have to understand. The next thing you do is with that community, with that learning, you understand that there are things you need to be prepared for as you're building wealth to take on the responsibility of money. See, the thing is, money problems, you're going from, if you're, again, like me, you're going from having money as the problem to once you have money, there's different problems you may have. So the amount of money you have changes the type of problems you may have. So most wealthy people, they're more concerned with taxes, legacy, protecting their money. People who don't have money are worried about getting the actual money to solve the problem. So you don't change anything you're doing. What's this money and what's this influence going to do with my kids and how they're developing, what they think of the world, what about where I give my money, what is that company doing, and do my values align with what that company is doing? The money problems will always be there. They just change the responsibility. You're not as concerned. So I want to give this as the icebreaker for really building that wealth conversation. can't wait to see you guys. If you like this, I can't wait for you to watch it to the next video and join the series. Share it with a friend. Like the video if you like it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.